Hey, I'm Rob Adler, and welcome to Understanding Upstate, the podcast dedicated to exploring what makes upstate New York such a unique place. Each week, my co-host Jim Search and I dive into a new upstate topic to better understand what's up upstate, and this week, we are packing up the VW and heading to the groovy vibes that are Woodstock, baby.
Hell yeah, let's get fucked up on acid and talk about this.
But not the brown acid, if I recall correctly.
Right.
You want to avoid the brown acid, famously.
Yep. That was circulating around this hallowed event of free love and drugs and music, baby.
There you go. And
all
and a bit more. It's true. It's true.
All of it happening not too far from where we record and not too far from where I grew up.
Yeah. Kind of a nice midpoint. Commutable.
It is. It is. I've made many a joke about how Bethel and that area is halfway between New York City and Binghamton. And I used to joke with a friend of mine that Bethel is like the halfway house for some. Mm-hmm.
Sure. There you go.
Yeah.
Works on many levels.
Did some stand up right outside of Bethel and had a good time.
Jim, why do you keep saying Bethel? I thought it happened in Woodstock.
Well, in the area.
No, I know. Right? No. I mean, it's kind of a misnomer. I was setting you up there. I wasn't challenging you.
No. I missed the boat on that.
That's
one.
All right. It's all right.
But I'm just a regular upstater, man. That's it. Just a 607 fella.
There you go. There you go. Well, all the other regular fellas out there and fellettes, fell people, should subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. It really helps us out. Share an episode with a friend. Much like you would pass the joint at Woodstock, pass an episode on to a friend, right? Right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
And again, throw us a 5-star rating and write us a positive review, particularly on Apple Podcasts. We'll take it elsewhere too, but Apple Podcasts helps us out, I think, more than other platforms. Anyway, throw us some kind words and throw in a suggestion for a future topic you would like us to cover, a person, place, city, thing in and or from upstate New York, and we'd love to talk about it. Speaking of talking about things from upstate New York, Jim, we should break into this Woodstock topic here because we got a lot to cover. Got a lot of ground to cover.
Apparently this was very popular.
We want to make sure this episode is shorter than the actual festival itself, so let's get into it, shall we?
That's funny. Hell yeah.
All right, so the Woodstock Music and Art Fair, commonly referred to as Woodstock, was a music festival held from August 15th to August 18th in 1969, the summer of 69, as it's referred to, on Max Yasgur's dairy farm in Bethel, New York, 60 miles southwest of the town of Woodstock. So yeah, Woodstock didn't happen at Woodstock. Billed as an Aquarian exposition, 3 days of peace and music, and alternatively referred to as the Woodstock Rock Festival. It attracted an audience of more than 460,000 people, which is quite a lot of people to be on a dairy farm.
Yeah, man. That's 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
Yeah.
If I had to say.
Why Aquarian? Is August? Did that happen during like Aquarius? Is that? I don't know my signs.
I can say that August is Leo's.
Okay,
that is a Leo month.
Okay,
Leo into Virgo.
Right.
And Aquarius is around the February area.
Well,
so January to February. As I was quickly corrected by my resident astrologist.
We'll put it we'll reference her in the show notes. We'll
sure. Yeah, we'll give her a shout out in the show notes. That's fine.
Sure.
For sure.
Okay, well,
so that is what
we'll never know why it was the Aquarian Exposition.
Yeah, I don't know why they would call it that either. But if you know, Speedy Freak and Rattlesnake Pete, feel free to ring off at understandingupstate@gmail.com. Let us know. Or, as we said before, throw it in a review.
Yeah, there we go.
Just do it.
There we go.
Just make it happen.
32 acts, Jim. 32 musical acts. I think there were some spoken word things happening as well. They performed outdoors despite overcast and sporadic rain. It was a muddy event. It was one of the largest music festivals in history and would become the peak musical event to reflect the counterculture of the 1960s. The festival has become widely regarded as a pivotal moment in popular music history, as well as a defining event for the silent and baby boomer generations. The event's significance was reinforced by a 1970 documentary film, an accompanying soundtrack album, and a song written by Joni Mitchell that became a major hit for both Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, and Matthew's Southern Comfort. Musical events bearing the Woodstock name were planned for anniversaries, including the 10th, 20th, 25th, 30th, 40th, and 50th. In 2004, Rolling Stone magazine listed it as number 19 of the 50 moments that changed the history of rock and roll. Only 19. Damn, Rolling Stone. Jesus. They don't get...
Now that... What's number one? Right?
Right.
What would be the number one?
Maybe the day the music died, when we lost the Big Bopper and Buddy Holly, and who knows. If that's 19, who knows. Let's see. The festival site became listed on the National Register of Historic Places. But yeah, Rolling Stone, in my opinion, they don't get it right all the time. I'd say they don't get it right most of the time.
So do you think this should have been bumped up higher?
I mean, the fact it's not in top 10.
Off the cuff.
Top 10 for sure. Top 10. Come on.
I would have to say, like, if we're talking rock and roll, I would say top 10.
Yeah.
I'm not like a huge rock and roll buff, but I'm enough of a popular culture guy to be like, all right. And music as a whole, like.
I mean, you and I were talking about this a little bit off mic, but I am a guitar player, but was very much into Jimi Hendrix in like around high school. It still am, but like I was listening to him a ton, and we'll talk about it later, but you know, in particular, his performance at Woodstock is incredibly famous, and made a big impression on I was going to say a little Rob Adler. I was not little in high school, but a young Rob Adler.
A young Rob Adler.
Yeah. But yeah, I digress. Rolling Stone they can eat it. That's my hot take.
Wow. All right, man. No censor for that one, brother. No. Fuck it.
Let's
fucking go.
I once wrote them a letter, again in high school, telling them I was canceling their subscription because they didn't mention the death of Les Paul in an episode, which is real nerdy. Or not an episode, in an issue. I was like, how dare you? I was
sure.
Perhaps a bit precocious.
Listen, somebody had to do it.
It's true. It's true.
Let it be you.
Anyway, let's talk about the planning and the preparation of the festival. Woodstock was initiated through the efforts of Michael Lang, Artie Kornfeld, and Joel Rosenman, and John P. Roberts. Roberts and Rosenman financed the project. Lang had some experience as a promoter, having co-organized the Miami Pop Festival on the East Coast the previous year, where an estimated 25,000 people attended the 2-day event. That's still a pretty big event. Even across 2 days. Early in 1969, Roberts and Rosenman were New York City entrepreneurs who were in the process of building Media Sound, a recording studio complex in Manhattan. Lang and Kornfeld's lawyer, Miles Lowry, who had done legal work on the Media Sound project, suggested that they contract contact Roberts and Rosenman about financing a similar but much smaller studio, Kornfeld, that Lang hoped to build in Woodstock, New York. Which there's, I mean, I don't know at the time, but like there certainly are a shit ton of recording studios up in that part of upstate New York.
Right.
In the kind of the Hudson Valley-ish area. Unpersuaded by this studio in the woods proposal, Roberts and Rosenman counterproposed a concert featuring the kind of artists known to frequent the Woodstock area, such as Bob Dylan and the band. Kornfeld and Lang agreed to the new plan, and Woodstock Ventures was formed in January 1969. The company offices were located in an oddly decorated floor of 47 West 57th Street, Manhattan. Burt Cohen and his design group, Curtain Call Productions, oversaw the psychedelic transformation of the office. All right. Some very corporate origins to the Woodstock Festival.
Sure. I wonder if those in the out in the mud there just ripping tubes and fucked up on all sorts of cool shit knew that like Madison Ave fucking madmen motherfuckers put this all together. How would they feel?
We'll get to it a little bit later in an article, but one of these guys was would inherit a toothpaste fortune. Like these guys definitely had money they didn't earn.
Well, and also, I mean, if you think about it, right, it's just like there had to have been some sort of like corporate arm or just like big business to like make this happen, because you don't book like the hottest bands of the time by just being like, hey, we got some dope upstate. You guys want to smoke it and play?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna need some money if you want me to fucking pack up the van here, brother.
Yep.
Nah,
it makes sense. It makes sense. And certainly having offices on West 57th like that helps. Shit. Let's see. All right, continuing on from the start, there were differences in approach among the four entrepreneurs. Roberts was disciplined and knew what was needed for the venture to succeed. Sounds like Roberts wrote this. While the laid-back Lang saw Woodstock as a new, relaxed way of bringing entrepreneurs together. When Lang was unable to find a site for the concert, Roberts and Rosenman, growing increasingly concerned, took to the road and found a venue. Similar differences about financial discipline made Roberts and Rosenman wonder whether to pull the plug or to continue pumping money into the project. In April of 1969, Creedence Clearwater Revival, also known as CCR, became the first act to sign a contract for the event, agreeing to play for $10,000, which is equivalent to $86,000 in 2024. And like CCR in 69, pretty big. That's a pretty good first get. Like that helps. And
that was one of my mom's favorite fucking bands, man. I know all these jams, man. Proud Mary, the whole fucking nine, dude.
Ain't no Fortunate Son over here. Shit. Yeah.
I would say I was a fortunate son in that I do now know all these jams, dude.
There you go. I think I've mentioned it before. I've definitely mentioned before. I have quite the record collection. And again, in high school, you better believe I was picking up quite a few CCR albums out of those bins.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Woo. John Fogerty. He's got some hits. Anyway, so Fogerty and Creedence Clearwater Revival, they're on the bill, baby. The promoters had experienced difficulty in landing big-name groups until Creedence committed to play. Creedence drummer Doug Clifford later commented, once Creedence signed, everyone else jumped in line and all the other big acts came on. Given their 12:30 a.m. start time and omission from the Woodstock film, which we'll talk about later, at Creedence frontman John Fogerty's insistence, Creedence members have expressed bitterness over their experience regarding the festival. Interesting. John Fogerty,
that's a whole spin-off right there.
John Fogerty is famously screwed over by his record label, but I really don't know how that dynamic plays out across the other band members, and I didn't know about this.
Well, just by this, it sounds like they wanted to be in the film,
Yeah.
and John was like, I don't want to be in the film.
Yeah.
So
Who knows? I mean, it was filmed though, so it's like bootlegs are, definitely a thing for a lot of the performances at Woodstock, and I wonder if something's out there. Let's see. Woodstock was conceived as a profit-making venture, became a free concert when circumstances prevented the organizers from installing fences and ticket booths before opening day. Tickets for the 3-day event cost $18 in advance and $24 at the gate, equivalent to about $150 and $210 today. Which is it's not nothing. That's pretty good for a 3-day festival, I'll say.
I was gonna say, man, 3 days of music for $210.
Yeah, not bad.
And given the caliber of performance at that time.
Yep. Ticket sales were limited to record stores in the greater New York City area or by mail via post office box at the Radio City Station post office located in Midtown Manhattan. Around 186,000 advance tickets were sold. The organizers had anticipated that approximately 50,000 festival goers would turn up. That's a bit of an underestimate.
Right. Imagine planning an event for like 50,000 people and then seeing 400,000 show up.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Yeah, you're just like, all right. This is like what the Fire Festival wished they had.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like at all the points it could have gone wrong, just look at one of the Fire Festival documentaries for like how colossally terrible this could have ended up.
Right.
They just needed Ja Rule to be involved. It would have been,
It would have been murder.
If you will. Nice one.
Thank you.
I immediately heard him shouting it. Anyway. Oh, the one thing I was going to mention before we get into the selection of the venue, we have an extensive portion of an episode talking about the sound design and the sound reinforcement of the whole festival. Everyone should go listen to our Macintosh episode if you want to learn a little bit more about kind of the technical infrastructure of the event. And it's pretty cool. They had to really kind of invent a lot of modern event sound design stuff to pull it off. But let's talk about the selection of venue. So the original plan was for the festival to take place in the town of Woodstock on a site owned by Alexander Tapuz. After local residents rejected that idea, Lang and Kornfeld thought they had found another possible location at the Winston Farm in Saugerties, New York. Can you imagine if it was called Saugerties? Man, I was at Saugerties in 69.
I was literally, we were right there, man. I'm like, yo, imagine if, just like, you weren't at Saugerties. You didn't fucking live, dude. How fucking stupid that sounds.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. Woodstock's good branding. It makes sense to stick with it for sure. All right, but they were mistaken about Saugerties, as the landowner's attorney made clear in a brief meeting with Roberts and Rosenman. Growing alarmed at the lack of progress, Roberts and Rosenman took over the search for a venue and discovered the 300-acre Mills Industrial Park, the town of Wallkill, Orange County, New York, which Woodstock Ventures leased for $10,000. Again, equivalent to $86,000 today. Everything's just going for $10K. In the spring of 69. Town officials were assured that no more than 50,000 people would attend. Town residents immediately opposed the project. In early July, the town board passed a law requiring a permit for any gathering of over 5,000 people. The conditions upon which a permit would be issued made it impossible for the promoter to continue construction at the Wallkill site. Reports of the ban, however, turned out to be a publicity bonanza for the festival. Despite opposition, no such thing as bad press, I guess. Despite opposition from the residents and signs proclaiming Buy No Milk, Stop Max's Hippie Music Festival. What? Buy No Milk? I don't get how that plays in. There's a lot of dairy farms? I don't know. Bethel Town Attorney Frederick W.V. Schott, building inspector. He didn't shoot a building inspector. His last name is Schott. Building inspector Donald Clark and town supervisor Daniel Amatucci approved the festival permits. All right, guys, there we go. Although the Bethel Town Board refused to issue the permits formally. That's kind of awesome. Those three guys are just like, hey, let's fucking do it. The town council, board.
I bet there was some money floated into their hands to make this shit happen, dude.
That's true. Let's see. Clark was ordered to post stop work orders. Rosenman recalls meeting Don Clark and discussing with him how unethical it was for him to withhold permits which had already been authorized and which he had in his pocket. At the end of the meeting, Inspector Clark gave him the permits. The stop work order was lifted, allowing the festival to proceed, pending backing by the Department of Health and Agriculture and removal of all structures by September 1st, 1969. Jim, the stage has literally been set. Let's talk about the festival.
But here's the thing, before I jump in there, I want to say real quick, like, even if like it wasn't approved, right? You sold how many tickets? 186,000 or something wild like that. People are going to show up.
Yep.
It's going to happen. Even if you don't want it to, these motherfuckers are going to show up.
Yep. You're not going to get an email saying, oops, concert's canceled.
Yeah. Because, how do you reach out to those who have bought a ticket? It's like, send them a letter back.
Yeah. Also, like, if the concert's off, you effectively, it sounds like, or they effectively had no money whatsoever. So, like, what are they going to do? Take out advertising money to let people know the concert's off?
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, man. It's going up. It's going down. And we're going to talk about that festival right now. The influx of people to the rural concert site in Bethel created a huge traffic jam. The town of Bethel did not enforce its codes, fearing chaos as crowds flowed to the site. As predicted, radio and television descriptions of the traffic jams eventually discouraged people from setting off to the festival. Arlo Guthrie made an announcement that was included in the film saying that the New York State Thruway was closed, although the director of the Woodstock Museum said that this did not happen. To add to the problems and difficulty in dealing with large crowds, recent rain had created muddy roads and fields. Uh-oh. The facilities were not adequate to provide sanitation or first aid for the number of people attending, and hundreds and thousands of people found themselves in a struggle against bad weather, food shortages, and poor sanitation. So essentially what we're saying here is that Woodstock walked so the Fire Festival could run. The event security was handled by a group of 346 off-duty New York City police officers, but the officers were forced to withdraw when they were warned that they were in violation regulations against moonlighting. You cannot double shift here, folks. You got to be a cop or nothing. On the morning of Sunday, August 17th, New York Governor and future Vice President Nelson Rockefeller called festival organizer John P. Roberts and told him that he was thinking of ordering 10,000 National Guard troops to the festival site, but Roberts persuaded him not to.
How do you like, maybe we don't. Let's not send them.
Right.
And Nelson Rockefeller's like, no, all right. Well, yeah.
Right. That conversation, how does that unfurl? And also, like, this would be a very different conversation if 10,000 National Guard were unleashed on concert goers who are just trying to fucking do drugs and fuck
Jim,
each other.
I think this is the first time a Rockefeller didn't send in the troops. Like, this has happened multiple times, and I'm quite frankly shocked it did not happen.
Right. Because they usually like to oppress people.
Wasn't it Nelson Rockefeller who who sent in the people at Attica? By people, I mean armed guards.
Yeah, who fired into the crowd? Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that you are correct.
And this was before Attica, so it's not like that's wild. That's
right. Well,
all right. Let's proceed.
Anyway, as we press along, Sullivan County declared a state of emergency. During the festival, personnel from the nearby Stewart Air Force Base helped to ensure order and airlifted performers in and out of the site. So government gives, government takes. Here we are. Jimi Hendrix was the last to perform at the festival, taking the stage at 8:30 Monday morning after delays caused by the rain. By that point, the audience numbers had fallen to about 30,000 from the estimated peak of 450,000. That's still the town of Binghamton. It is that's everybody in Binghamton was at this farm. Many left during Hendrix's performance, having waited to catch a glimpse of him. Hendrix and his new band Gypsy Sun and Rainbows were introduced as The Experience, but he corrected this and added, "You could call us a band of gypsies." They performed a 2-hour set, including his psychedelic rendition of the national anthem, which became part of the 60s zeitgeist after it was captured in the Woodstock film. I feel like the spirit of every boomer right now is just on fire.
Yeah. Sure.
If we have any boomers who listen to this podcast, email us at understandingupstate@gmail.com. Tell us a random story and we'll read that motherfucker because I know you guys are happy right now. I'm assuming we do have some boomers out there rocking with us.
Definitely do. Definitely do.
Yeah, I hope. That'd be great, man. Look, bring on the Speedy Freaks of Rattlesnake Pete's. Come fuck with us.
There you go.
The festival was remarkably peaceful given the number of people and conditions involved. Well, they were all on drugs. Yeah. Anyway, they're not, and these aren't I don't know. It wasn't aggressive drug, right? This is
for the
acid.
We've got I got an article where we'll get to it, but few hard drugs is kind of the way it was described. And anyone who was doing hard drugs, I think, made themselves scarce because they had a bad time. And maybe I shouldn't be in the midst of a sea of people. Dare I say you're an ocean of people.
Although there were 3 recorded fatalities, 2 drug overdoses and another caused when a tractor ran over a 17-year-old sleeping in a nearby hayfield.
No,
fuck, dude.
That sucks. That sucks for everyone involved, particularly the person who died, but the farmer who ran over a teenager, that sucks too. Right. That's bad.
Murder. Absolute murder. Births were claimed to have occurred. One in a car caught in traffic and another in hospital after an airlift by helicopter, but extensive research by the book author could not confirm any births. I believe it.
Yeah.
Several miscarriages were reported. Surprise. Sources range from 4 to 8. And over the course of 3 days, there were, for it, 742 drug overdoses.
I mean, but if you take into account how many people were there, that's... What's the percentage of 742 people out of 400,000+? That's pretty good. That's not that bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah, because we're gonna assume that every single person there is doing drugs.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Let's just assume that because I'm not believing anything else. That's point. I just ran the numbers. That's 0.0016%.
Yeah.
Of the.
That's nothing. That's pretty damn good.
That's good. That's good. There should have been more.
Yeah.
In retrospect, there should have been more. Max Yasgur, who owned the site, spoke of how nearly 500,000 people had spent 3 days with music and peace on their minds. He stated, If we join them, we can turn those adversities that the problems of America today into a hope for a brighter and more peaceful future.
All right. There you go.
Now, Rob, they were out there doing drugs. They were living their best lives, doing a lot of wild shit. But there was some music that accompanied that, and we need to know who those musicians were.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the insane lineup at Woodstock, because it's pretty nuts. So yeah, I really just want to go through kind of the list of performers, because it's such a unique mix, but also there's people on here I've never heard of. And again, I was like into this shit for a long time.
Sure.
So let's just jump right in. So, and this is in chronological order, but we're not going to give like day and time of sets and stuff. But just keep that in mind. So first up, we've got Richie Havens. He's kicking things off for us. Then we got a Invocation by Swami Sachi Donata. Next is Sweetwater. No idea who Sweetwater is. They did the song Motherless Child. Well, that's like a blues
Which
tune.
was sampled by...
Oh, go ahead.
Sampled by Ghostface. There's a Ghostface song, Motherless Child.
Yeah, there is. There totally is. But I think that's sampling an older blues recording.
Yeah, I mean...
but it's a famous... Yeah,
right,
super famous. Not even blues song, it's spiritual. Learning lots today. All right. Next up, we got Bert Sommer. Again, no idea who that is. We're soft pitching in the first couple sets.
Well, this is like the opening act, right?
Yeah, for sure.
These are the openers.
Yeah. I think we got a lot of like singer-songwriters kind of kicking it off. There were a lot of folk artists here. Next is Tim Hardin, another folk artist I'm not familiar with. Next up, we have Ravi Shankar. Ravi Shankar was there. Played a 42-minute set. I think it was maybe affected by a rainstorm. Another artist named Melanie Safka. Arlo Guthrie should be a familiar name. Then it's Joan Baez. I have no idea how to say her last name, but I'm not a boomer, so it doesn't matter. Did I get it?
I'm close to that universe, and Joan Baez is right.
Okay.
She was pretty badass too, like as far as like social activism and shit.
Yeah, she's still with us. She's still with us.
Yeah, she's still rocking, man.
And from Staten Island, of all places. I had no idea. All right. Next up, we've got Quill. This is Saturday now. Country Joe McDonald. Santana is playing a set. We got John Sebastian, Keith Hartley Band, The Incredible String Band, Canned Heat. Let's see. On the Road Again is one of their tunes, I believe. Mountain. They've been sampled a few times. I think Beastie Boys in particular sampled Mountain. Grateful Dead did a pretty hefty set. Creedence Clearwater Revival. Things are heating up, Jim, on day 2 here.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're getting into the big hitters right now.
Next up is Janis Joplin and the Cosmic Blues Band. Sly and the Family Stone. The Who.
Oh yeah.
Jefferson Airplane. Oh, wow. You end with Jefferson Airplane? That's kind of crazy. That's the closer for Saturday night. I think you got some good hits. But all right. Sunday, next up we got Joe Cocker and the Grease Band. It's like he's got the famous cover with a little help from my friends. It's probably like one of the better Beatles covers, in my opinion. Yeah, Country Joe and the Fish, 10 years after the band, famously originally Bob Dylan's backing band. Johnny Winter, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Paul Butterfield Blues Band, Sha-Na-Na, which is always weird to me.
Sure.
Like Duke of Earl and Get a Job, that band did Woodstock. And then closing it out, as we've mentioned, is Jimi Hendrix on Monday morning. So yeah, like I would say kind of a a nice, almost like a linear progression towards some harder hitting tunes, and then things kind of exponentially take off from there. Like
things really start to pick up at day 2, man.
Yeah,
that's when the people who like, I know that this is like big, like that they brought some heat when I know who these people are, because I don't fucking listen to this, but I'm like, oh yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly probably it's a great way to structure things. Like, yeah, you start off with some acoustic stuff, you get into it, you have some heavy hitters of that style, you get Joan Baez, Arlo Guthrie to kind of close out that portion, then you bring in Santana early on the next day. He's, Santana's not like super hard hitting, but he's got some good grooves. Press on towards the Who and Hendrix, like, yeah, it's a nice. You throw Sly and the Family Stone in there too. Woof. Yeah, pretty good lineup that I don't think. You hear a lot about the experience of it, but just when you look at the artists who are there, it's pretty nuts. But those were the people that were there. Let's talk about the people who weren't there, because there were some invitations that were not accepted. Some people didn't make it,
right,
and turned down invites. Famously, the Beatles were not there, or I guess not famously, but obviously, like big, one of the biggest acts of the time. They were recording Abbey Road at the time and on the verge of breaking up. I think they had at that point not toured for a while or performed for a while. Promoter Michael Lang, realizing the Beatles were not an option, invited John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band. Due to Lennon's position on Vietnam and 1968 drug bust in England, Richard Nixon and the U.S. government reportedly did not want him in the country. Apple Corps, which was the record label, I believe, sent a letter to the promoters offering the Plastic Ono Band, but the letter arrived as promoters were losing the location in Wallkill, so distractions did not allow arrangements to be finalized. That's fine. That's fine.
That's cool.
Blues Image agreed to appear at the festival, according to a 2011 interview with percussionist Joe Lala. Their manager did not want them to go and said, "There's only one road in, and it's going to be raining. You don't want to be there." The band instead took a gig in Binghamton. Yeah, baby.
Fuck yeah. That's right. You made the right choice, Blues Image. Fuck Woodstock. Binghamton forever. 607 till I fucking die.
Can we
do
a whole episode on that performance? I wanna dig into understanding Binghamton's Woodstock. There we go. Summer of 69 in Binghamton.
You're speaking my language. Dude.
I'm getting the picture, or should I say the image? The Blues Image? Pretty good.
You did, yeah.
Let's see. The Byrds were invited but chose not to participate, believing that Woodstock would be no different from any other music festivals that summer. There were also concerns about money. Bassist John York later said, "We had no idea what it was going to be. We were burned out and tired of the festival scene." That's fine. I think that's understandable.
You'll let it go?
Yeah. Chicago had initially been signed to play at Woodstock, but they had a contract with the concert promoter Bill Graham, which allowed him to move their concerts at the Fillmore West. He's rescheduled some of their dates to August 17th, thus forcing them to back out of the concert. This would have been kind of crazy to have Chicago at Woodstock. Graham did so to ensure that Santana would take their slot at the festival, as he managed them as well. Interesting. I would argue Santana is probably a better fit for Woodstock, but personal opinion. Eric Clapton wanted English supergroup Blind Faith to play the festival, which occurred during their only tour, but was outvoted by the rest of the group. Good, Eric Clapton, a piece of shit. Let's see. The Doors were considered but canceled at the last moment. According to guitarist Robbie Krieger, they turned down because they thought that it would be a second-class repeat of Monterey Pop Festival, and later regretted that decision. Other sources claim that lead singer Jim Morrison hated playing large outdoor concerts and feared he might be assassinated. Yikes! Krieger and Doors drummer John Densmore did attend Woodstock, though they did not perform. Interesting. The Doors would later appear at the 1970 Isle of Wight Festival, and Krieger later made a guest performance with post-grunge band Creed at the ill-fated Woodstock 99. We should really do a follow-up episode about Woodstock 99 because it was more in line with a fire festival, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's put it on the list.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
We'll do a follow-up for sure.
Into it.
It's a lot
and
of...
also,
Oh, go ahead.
Didn't Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison hate each other?
That I don't know, but I would believe it. I've steered clear of the Doors in most capacities, so I couldn't tell you. Bob Dylan lived in the town of Woodstock, but never seriously negotiated to appear. Instead, he signed in mid-July to play the Isle of Wight Festival in '69. In August of that year, he intended to travel to England on the Queen Elizabeth II on August 15th, the day that Woodstock Festival started, but his son was injured by a cabin door. And the family disembarked. Dylan and his wife, Sarah, flew to England the following week. The band accompanied him during his Isle of Wight appearance. Iron Butterfly was booked to appear and is listed on the Woodstock poster for a Sunday performance, but could not perform because they were stuck at LaGuardia. Oh, man, that sucks. It's not a good airport to be stuck at.
No, not then. Now, fine. But back then, not so much.
They kind of only have one good song, too. So, again, it's fine. I think it's fine. They sent a telegram to production coordinator John Moore saying, "We will arrive at LaGuardia. You will have helicopters pick us up. We will fly straight to the show. We will perform immediately, and then we will be flown out." And I picked up the phone and called Western Union. My telegram said, "For reasons I can't go into until you are here, clarifying your situation, knowing you are having problems, you will have to find other transportation unless you plan not to come." Funny.
There you go.
Yeah. Jethro Tull also declined, according to Ian Anderson, who's the frontman and flautist of Jethro Tull. He knew that it would be a big event, but did not want to go because he did not like hippies and had other concerns.
The same for you.
Yeah. Including inappropriate nudity, heavy drinking, and drug use. Okay. Jethro Tull. All right.
You're 0 for 3 then, because there was inappropriate nudity, heavy drinking, and drug use at this event.
I mean, he made the right choice.
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin was asked to perform. Their manager, Peter Grant, stated, "I said no because at Woodstock, we just have been another band on the bill." I don't know about that. Joni Mitchell was originally slated to perform, but canceled at the urging of her manager to avoid missing a scheduled appearance on the Dick Cavett show. She later composed the song Woodstock, inspired by what she saw on TV. I mean, Dick Cavett, I think, pretty good interviewer, but like, it sucks.
You could have always rescheduled to be on the show,
dude. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
you can't reschedule Woodstock, man.
No. Roy Rogers was asked to close the festival with Happy Trails, but he declined. That'd have been kind of goofy. The Rolling Stones were invited, but declined because Mick Jagger was in Australia filming Ned Kelly, and Keith Richards' girlfriend had just given birth to their son. Simon and Garfunkel declined as they're working on their new album. Steel Mill, which is Bruce Springsteen's then band, was reportedly offered a slot, but was already booked. That would have been kind of awesome if, early Bruce Springsteen appearance, but
a young boss.
Yeah. Middle management boss, right? I don't know. There's a better joke in there. I don't know. Anyway,
assistant manager.
Yeah,
he was an assistant manager at the time.
There you go. Frank Zappa was then with the Mothers of Invention. He said, "A lot of mud at Woodstock. We were invited to play there. We turned it down."
That it ripped, man. He's a wild one.
He really is.
I fuck with Zappa.
Yeah, he's got some good shit. All right, so let's talk about the media coverage. We got a lot of again, we talked about some films, documentary, but let's get into that a little bit, which kind of helped expand the impact of the event.
Sure. So, magazine advertisement promoted the Woodstock Music and Arts Fair Aquarian Exposition to be held in Wallkill, New York. Very few reporters from outside the immediate area were on the scene. During the first few days of the festival, national media coverage emphasized the problems. Front page headlines in the Daily News read, "Traffic uptight at Hippie Fest," and "Hippies mired in sea of mud." The New York Times read an editorial titled "Nightmare in the Catskills," which read in part, "The dreams of marijuana and rock music that drew 300,000 fans and hippies to the Catskills had little more sanity than the impulses that drive the lemmings to march to their deaths in the sea." Oof.
Yikes.
They ended in a nightmare of mud and stagnation. What kind of culture is it that can produce so colossal a mess? Coverage became more positive by the end of the festival, in part because the parents of concert goers called the media and told them, based on their child's phone calls, that their reports were misleading.
That's wild.
They're like, Mom, everything is great. I just got pregnant.
There you go.
The New York Times covered the prelude to the festival and the move to Wallkill to Bethel. But Barnard Collier, who reported from the event for the New York Times, asserted that he was pressured by on-duty editors at the paper to write a misleadingly negative article about the event.
The New York Times? Jim, the New York Times? I would never. The old gray lady? Be disingenuous?
Yeah.
Oh.
A little bit. Yeah, here we are. And now here we are in these uncertain times.
Mm-hmm.
According to Collier, this led to acrimonious discussions and his threat to refuse to write the article until the paper's executive editor, James Reston, agreed to let him write the article as he saw fit. The eventual article dealt with issues of traffic jams and minor law breaking, but went on to emphasize cooperation, generosity, and the good nature of the festival goers. When the festival was over, Collier wrote another article about the exodus of fans from the festival site and the lack of violence at the event. The chief medical officer for the event and several local residents were quoted as praising the festival goers.
Yeah, that's the one thing I couldn't find when I was looking up reviews and reading some articles and stuff was no one talked about the fucking music. No.
Right.
I was just oh, there's got to be some really good music critics or some articles talking about some of the different sets. Nothing. It's all about the fucking traffic and no one beat each other up. Which again, it's it was horribly shitty conditions. Again, we all, I think, safe to say, a lot of us watched one of the Fire Festival documentaries and enjoyed in delighting in people's misery.
Sure.
But I don't want to undercut that it was a pretty, at the end of the day, a pretty massive slap together event in some ways, and it all went off okay. I don't want to say without a hitch, but I went off on okay, which is significant. I want some music coverage. Can't really find it. It's kind of interesting.
And yeah, given the amount of people, man, close to 500,000, and it went off great.
Yeah.
Hey, good on you. Well, there have been some film about this little event here, the 1970s documentary. The documentary film Woodstock, directed by Michael Wadley and edited by a crew headed by Thelma Schoonmaker, was released in March of 1970. Artie Kornfeld, one of the promoters of the festival, went to Fred Weintraub, an executive at Warner Brothers, and asked for money to film the festival. Kornfeld had been turned down everywhere else, but again the express wishes of the other Warner Brothers executives, Weintraub put his job on the line and gave Kornfeld $100,000, equivalent to almost $1,860,000 today, to make the film. Woodstock helped to save Warner Brothers at the time when the company was on the verge of going out of business.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The book
That's
Easy.
crazy.
Neither did I. The book Easy Riders, Raging Bulls detailed the making of the film.
Have you seen the movie?
Easy Riders?
No. The Woodstock documentary.
Wait. I haven't. No.
But you have seen Easy Riders, so you're informed of hippie counterculture.
Sure. I mean, listen, man, I am very adjacent to this culture, man. My mom was a fucking boomer. Wadley rounded up the crew of about 100 from the New York film scene. With no money to pay the crew, he agreed to a double or nothing scheme in which the crew would receive double pay if the film succeeded and nothing if it bombed. Just pay him in drugs. Wadley strove to make the film as much about the hippies as the music, listening to their feelings about compelling events contemporaneous with the festival, such as the Vietnam War, as well as views from the townspeople. Woodstock received the Academy Award for Documentary Feature. In 1996, the film was introduced into the Library of Congress National Film Registry. In 1994, Woodstock, the director's cut, was released and expanded to include Janis Joplin, as well as additional performances by Jefferson Airplane, Jimi Hendrix, and Canned Heat, not seen in the original version of the film.
There you go.
In 2009, the expanded 40th anniversary edition was released on DVD. This release marks the film's first availability in Blu-ray. Now, Jimi Hendrix, Live at Woodstock, is the posthumous live album by Hendrix released on July 6, 1999. It documents most of his performance at the Woodstock Festival on August 18, 1969, and contains Hendrix's iconic interpretation of the Star-Spangled Banner and other songs from the original festival, film, and soundtrack album. And again, folks, I know about this, which makes this fucking huge, because I don't know shit. The album, produced by the family-run Experience Hendrix, supersedes the 94 Woodstock album, produced by Alan Douglas, which contains fewer and more edited tracks. As with the earlier release, the medley of Gypsy Woman with Aware of Love, both songs originally by The Impressions, and rhythm guitarist Larry Lee's composition Mastermind are not included. Lee's solo on Red House and Mitch Mitchell's drum solo on Jam at the Back of the House had also been edited. A 2-disc DVD version of the performance was issued on September 13th, 2005, and a single-disc Blu-ray version was issued on November 25th, 2008.
I just want to throw a quick plug for that, I guess the DVD or Blu-ray. Sure. I think I mentioned earlier, that's what I watched like 1,000 times in high school, and it's great. Right. I'm pretty sure I saw the Woodstock movie. I think I went to a screening of it, actually. It's pretty good. But if you're gonna watch anything, even just like a couple like clips or like there's like some shorter 20-minute sections uploaded to YouTube, it's pretty fucking great. To like that Hendrix set, I think it's 90 minutes of his like 2-hour set, more or less. Again, there's some things cut out, but he's playing all this shit so effortlessly. Like when you watch him singing, you're just like, oh, he must just be singing. He's not like someone else is shredding right now. And then they pan down and he's doing just crazy shit with his hands, and he looks like he could be reading the newspaper. Like, truly effortless, and really cool to watch. I'd recommend checking out some of the Hendrix set. Even like the Star Spangled Banner. Like it's pretty nuts to watch. And again, the crowd is only 30,000 people, but it's still a huge amount of people there for it. It's pretty cool to watch. So I would recommend that. Also, there's a Congo player who's not mic'd, and he's definitely been tripping all night into Monday morning, and he's just going like someone's just like, can we pull the mic off the Congo player before we go on set? And he's just going fucking crazy. It's a very entertaining watch. Go check it out. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Anyway, well, let's should we talk a little bit about the aftermath and the impact of
the fallout?
Yeah, let's get to it. All right. So, Peace and Music Woodstock Monument with plaques by sculptor Wayne C. Saward and was erected in 1984 on the festival site. Note that John Sebastian's surname is misspelled as Sebastian, and Bert Sommer's name is missing. I mean, come on, guys. I guess it's, again, like pre-internet, but like, let's do a little research before
Tighten up.
Yeah. It's hippies, Jim. What are you going to do? And the years immediately following the festival, Woodstock co-producers John Roberts and Joel Roseman, along with Robert Pilpel, wrote Young Men with Unlimited Capital, the inside story of the legendary Woodstock Festival, told by the people who paid for it. A book about the events behind the scenes during the production of the Woodstock Festival. Bethel voters did not re-elect Supervisor Amatucci in an election held in November 1969 because of his role in bringing the festival to the town and the upset attributed to some residents. Again, I think like Supervisor Amatucci, you made Woodstock happen. I think you think you're good if you don't, like, fuck this, I don't need to be reelected. Although the accounts vary, it was decided by only a small margin of between 6 and 50 votes. The New York State Legislature and the town of Bethel also enacted mass gathering laws designed to prevent any more festivals from occurring. Approximately 80 lawsuits were filed. That seems relatively low against Woodstock Ventures, primarily by farmers in the area. The movie financed settlements and paid off the $1.4 million of debt, equivalent to $12 million today, Roberts and Rosenman had incurred from the festival. Max Yasgur refused to rent out his farm for a 1970 revival of the festival, saying, as far as I know, I'm going back to running a dairy farm. Yasgur would then die in 1973.
They just came back to murder him.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Well, he had some nice things to say about the festival in retrospect. I know. It didn't seem like he was...
There was no beef.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a dairy farm, Jim. There is no beef.
Was just...
Setting me up. You're setting me up. All right, well, I pulled a little article here kind of talking about some of the fallout here. This is from September 1969 from the Press Republican. And it goes, Woodstock promoters splitting over large debt. The four young men who created the Woodstock Music and Arts Festival that lured 400,000 rock and folk fans to Bethel, New York last month are splitting up over money. Again, 1 month later, the more than $1.3 million their festival corporation is in debt. Our breakup is a matter of different philosophies, said John Roberts, the 24-year-old heir to a toothbrush fortune, Pico Pay. Sorry, I think I said toothbrush. His personal funds have been pledged to bankers to secure loans to pay off stacks of bills covering scores of bad checks and fight dozens of expected lawsuits. I mean, you know what? If you're an heir to a toothbrush throne, like, put on a festival for 500,000 people. Why not? Go for it. There's worse things to do with that money. Details of the split are still to be negotiated among the four partners and their lawyers. As things stand now, however, Roberts and Joel Rosenman, a 26-year-old Yale law student graduate, will retain control of the Woodstock Ventures Corporation and whatever assets it has left. It's probably like, a couple baggies of acid or something. It can't be that much left. Michael Lang, a babyface promoter, that's rude, with a Shirley Temple hairdo, who at 24 is an underground hero because Woodstock was his dream first, and Artie Kornfeld, his 26-year-old friend, will attempt to buy the corporation if they can raise enough money to pay Roberts back. Again, I think those are the guys who were doing like all of the kind of the on the ground work, finding the venues and dealing with the towns and stuff, which is interesting. Woodstock was the most monumental failure in the history of the underground if one measures by financial terms, but it was a failure caused by the most part by too much success on the artistic side. That's an interesting perspective. Essentially, the 31 heavy rock and folk groups, the public mountain setting, the proximity to New York City, and $200,000 worth of publicity and advertising in both underground and establishment media resulted the unexpected turnout of youth that overwhelmed the festival promoters. $200,000 in promotions is a lot of money. No tickets were sold after the first 2 hours of the first day. Those sales, plus about $1.2 million in advance sales, were all the box office there was. Woodstock was in a free party hosted by Lang and Roberts' line of credit at the bank. Many ticket buyers never got close to the site. Oh, that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I remember Artie Kornfeld and myself and another guy driving to our hotel to take a shower on Friday night and seeing the line of cars and people for the first time, says John Morris, who's 30 years old and who was in charge of the festival production. We were giggling and rolling around on the floor and laughing. We were high on the sight of it. But at noon the next day, it hit me. We had a situation that was a potential disaster. That was when a lot of people saw for the first time that there was a difference in the philosophies. Yikes. you want to figure those things out sooner than that.
Yeah, man. With that amount of money on the line.
Dude. By writing rubber checks for whatever it required to go on with the show and to take care of the immense crowds, Roberts tells he did the right thing and prevented a riot. Yeah. Then on Monday afternoon, Joel and I were talking with bankers in New York to see that nobody got stuck, Roberts said. Every legitimate claim is going to be paid. In contrast to Fire Festival was selling like luxury experiences too, right? Like the type of people they were bringing in wanted like a curated high-end concert experience. So like, if you have more of those people at Woodstock, I think you have a problem. But the advertising being towards hippies and, people of that ilk, I certainly think that helped with, the lack of rioting. Let's see. On the other side, Lang and Kornfeld were attempting to raise outside money to buy the corporation for themselves and seemed less than seriously concerned about the huge outstanding debt. The four stockholders are vying for control of Woodstock Ventures, Intangible Assets, a movie of the festival, Woodstock t-shirts program, books, and posters. Let's see. Robert says of Lang, Michael is a hippie who keeps one foot in the financial world at all time. Sounds like a lot of boomers. He wants to do things to keep those little hippies of his happy. He wants to do things to keep those little hippies of his happy, and that's part of the reason Woodstock was successful in terms of getting the crowd it did. Needs to keep up that foot to get the kids to back him, and he's great at that. The problems that plague the relationship between Roberts' side of the Woodstock venture and Lang's side before, during, and after the festival reflect the difficulties emerging the ideas of making money off the kids and trying to let the kids believe that a rock festival, for example, is, as Kornfeld likes to put it, a groovy meeting of the tribes, a part of the revolution. That the two ideas can be combined to make black ink in the account books has not yet been conclusively proven, but Robert says he is willing to risk trying again. All right, let's jump back here. learn a little bit more about some more of the aftermath. In 1984, at the original festival site, landowners Louis Nickey and June Gellish put up a monument marker with plaques called Peace and Music by a local sculptor from nearby Bloomingburg, Wayne C. Seward. I think by Wayne C. Seward. Attempts were made to prevent people from visiting the site. Its owners spread chicken manure, and during one anniversary, tractors and state police cars formed roadblocks. Good God. 20,000.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why? All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, it seems a little shitty, but.
Well, 20,000 people gathered at the site in 1989 during an impromptu 20th anniversary celebration. So if you don't want 20,000 people trampling your farm fields, I can understand, but yikes. Maybe, I don't know, make a buck off of it. Sell them a $2 ticket. Who knows? In 1997, a community group put up a welcoming sign for visitors. Unlike Bethel, the town of Woodstock made several efforts to capitalize on its connection. Bethel's stance eventually changed, and the town began to embrace the festival. Efforts were undertaken to forge a link between Bethel and Woodstock. So let's talk a little bit quickly about the legacy here. I have a museum at Bethel Woods, again on the site of the festival today. The field and the stage area remain preserved and are open to visitors as part of the Bethel Woods Center for the Arts after being purchased in 1996 by cable television pioneer Alan Gary for that purpose. The center opened in 2006 with a performance by the New York Philharmonic on a newly constructed pavilion stage located about 500 yards of the site of the 1969 stage. I mean, get Sly and the Family Stone back together or something. What are we doing?
Right.
New York Philharmonic.
Yeah, the New York Philharmonic. Like, well, you know what though? All right, so this is why, right? Boomers.
Yeah.
Like, you want like these are like fucking at the time like 50 somethings who are just like, yeah, I want to like relive this moment, but I want to do it in like the most like sophisticated way possible.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
makes
there
sense.
you go. Notable events since the opening of the center have included a 2006 performance by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, all right, and the scattering of Richie Havens' ashes in 2013. In 2016, New York State's Historic Preservation Office applied to the National Park Service to have 600 acres, including the site of the festival and adjacent areas used for campgrounds, listed on the National Historic Register of Places, and the site was listed there in February of 2017. All right, that's cool. With the 50th anniversary, May of 2014, one of the producers and organizers, Michael Lang, of the original event, revealed plans for a possible 50th anniversary concert in 2019, and that was exploring various locations. Reports in late 2018 confirmed plans for a concurrent 50th anniversary event on the original site to be operated by the Bethel Woods Center for the Arts. The scheduled date for the event, which would celebrate the golden anniversary at the historic site, was August 16th to 18th, 2019. Bethel Woods described the festival as a pan-generational music, culture, and community event, including some live performance and talks by, quote, leading futurists and retro tech experts. What?
So, I mean, all right. So I got some thoughts here, right? Okay. It's pretty clear, well, as we know and as we've learned here, that like corporate America had their hand in Woodstock, because there's no way that it couldn't, as we said before, because you got like these big names, so you got to get some money, right? But this is so in the face, right? This is so leading futurists and retro tech experts. What the fuck does that mean, man? It doesn't feel good. It doesn't sound good. And it doesn't feel good to the free vibes that were being handed out 50 years ago. Yeah,
that's not a way to honor that event. Let's see. On March 19th of 2019, there was a proposed lineup for Woodstock 50. This included John Fogerty of CCR, Carlos Santana of Santana, David Crosby from Crosby, Stills, and Nash, Melanie, John Sebastian, Country Joe McDonald, 3 Grateful Dead members as Dead & Co., Canned Heat, and Hot Tuna, containing members of Jefferson Airplane, also known as Jefferson Starship. The event was to take place at Watkins Glen International, the racetrack. in Watkins Glen, the site which was the site for the 1973 Summer Jam at Watkins Glen, which drew an estimated 600,000 people. Why the fuck have we never heard of the Summer Jam at Watkins Glen? Jim, throw it on the list.
Idea, man.
Throw it on the list.
We're on it.
Summer
Jam. I mean, I've been through Watkins Glen in my life, but I've jammed out in the summer there too. So not the same though, I bet.
All right.
Anyway,
as you may have,
I digress.
As you may have guessed, on April 29th of 2019, it was announced that Woodstock 50 had been canceled by investors who had lost faith in its preparations. The producers vehemently denied any cancellation, with Michael Lang telling the New York Times that investors have no such prerogative. They sure do if they don't give you the money to pay for the event. After a lawsuit with original financiers, the Woodstock 50 team then announced that it had received help from Oppenheimer & Co. for financing so that the 3-day event can continue to take place in August, despite the original financiers pulling out. On July 31st, NPR reported that the concert had finally been canceled. Bethel Woods Center for the Arts did organize a weekend of low-key concerts, which honestly, that's probably what they should have just done in the first place.
I mean, listen, the attendee of this who would have been there would have been 70.
Yeah. And
right?
There's not that many hotels around there. You do have
I mean, I think you'll get a turn, right? Because you'll have music enthusiasts and shit like that, and 40 and 50-year-olds who know it, but the real ones who are there, it's they're fucking 70 years old. They ain't trying to be out in the woods. They ain't trying to be out there like that.
Yeah. And John Fogerty and Santana aren't young either. This is going to be a low key concert either way.
Right.
Damn. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the local impact. Woodstock still acts as an economic engine for the local economy. A Bethel Woods report from 2018 indicates that $560 million of spending has been generated in New York, with $2.9 million.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
All right. I'm going to say I stand corrected then.
With 2.9 million visitors since 2006 and 214 visitors since in 2018, an equivalent of 172 full-time jobs exist as a result, which includes direct wages of $5.1 million from Bethel Woods in Sullivan County. Let's talk a little bit more about Woodstock in popular culture, shall we, Jim?
Hell yeah. As one of the biggest music festivals of all time, not according to Rolling Stone because they have it marked at 19, but we digress. And a cultural touchstone for the late 60s, Woodstock has been referenced in many different ways in popular culture. The phrase, the Woodstock generation, boomers, became part of the common lexicon. Tributes and parodies of the festival began almost as soon as the festival concluded. Cartoonist Charles Schulz named his recurring Peanuts bird character, which began appearing in 1966 but was still unnamed, Woodstock, in tribute to the festival. In April 1970, Mad Magazine published a poem by Frank Jacobs and illustrated by Sergio Aragones titled, I Remember the Wondrous Woodstock Music Fair. And that parodies the traffic jams and challenges of getting close enough to actually hear the music. Keith Robertson's 1970s children's book, Henry Reed's Big Show, has the title character attempting to emulate the success of the festival by having his own concert at his uncle's farm. In 1973, the stage show National Lampoon's Lemmings portrayed the Woodchuck Festival, featuring parodies of many Woodstock performers. Time magazine named The Who at Woodstock 1969 to the magazine's top 10 music festival moments list in March 18th, 2010.
Time magazine coming through. There you go.
Sometimes they get it right because the person of the year, they have fucked up on many occasions, but here they were able to get it right.
I assume you're talking about the year they made kind of a mirror cover and said it's you. It's not me. That's a cop out, Jim. That was a cop out, and I'm still mad about it.
I mean, I was thinking of some other people that they named as person of the year.
They may have done that a few times. They may have done it a few times.
Yeah. Like go back and look at 2024 if you're not sure.
I think you can go back into the 30s or 40s too and find a pretty choice pick as well, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh, well, as history repeating itself.
Yeah, but Jim, we're in that pantheon now thanks to Time Magazine. So there you go. Fuck you, Time Magazine. You're worse than the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, there you go.
Rolling Stone Magazine. I should clarify.
Not the Rolling Stones,
but
the Rolling Stone magazine.
Yeah.
All right. In 2005, Argentine writer Edgar Brau published Woodstock, a long poem commemorating the festival. An English translation of the poem was published in January 2007 by Words Without Borders. In 2017, the singer Lana Del Rey released a song, Coachella, Woodstock in My Mind, to show her worries about the tensions between North Korea and the United States while she was at Coachella, expressing nostalgia by using the Woodstock Festival as a symbol of peace. Okay.
Yeah, what? All right.
Yeah, I mean, cool. Sure. Like, I don't ever encourage anyone who's listening to this podcast to fast forward 15 seconds. But if you hear Lana Del Rey and you want to do it, I'm not mad at you.
She's,
if you do that.
I do believe, from upstate New York, Jim. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Listen, I mean, I'm not putting her on the list. 2017, Portland rock band Portugal. The Man released the album titled Woodstock, inspired by a conversation between frontman John Gourley and his father after the latter discovered his ticket stub from the festival. In 2019, the United States Postal Service released the Forever Stamp commemorating Woodstock's 50th anniversary. The stamp was designed by Antonio Alcala, art director of the United States Postal Service, and was first issued at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City on August 8th, 2019. So almost to the date. The museum was hosting Play It Loud, an exhibit co-organized with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, consisting of vintage rock and roll instruments, posters, and costumes. Attending the ceremony were Woodstock producers Michael Lang and Joe Rosenman. The ceremony began with a stirring electric guitar performance of the Star Spangled Banner by Captain Kirk Douglas of The Roots. Ooh, that's pretty dope. Yeah. Reminiscent of Jimi Hendrix's performance at the original Woodstock Festival. Side note, I'm pretty sure I saw him playing the guitar at the Roots concert in Queens. No joke.
Nice. Yeah.
In 2023, a South Korean organizer officially purchased Woodstock license and tried to hold a festival in Pocheon, but there was a lot of controversy because of insufficient preparation. Oh, they're staying on brand. In the process of preparing for the festival, and it was eventually canceled.
There you go.
That is what I have for that.
I got one more thing to kind of close us out of probably our longest episode to date.
I was going to say, we are at an hour and 20 minutes.
We're pushing it. We've had some long ones lately. But I'll probably paraphrase this one a little bit, but I thought it'd be nice to kind of close with an upstate take on Woodstock. And this is from the Niagara Falls Gazette, August 24th, 1969. As you'll see, they sent a reporter down to check out the festival and report on it. And again, kind of an interesting take on the event. So it's called Woodstock, Days of Peace, Love, Music. Editor's note: last weekend's Woodstock Music and Art Festival burst on an unsuspecting nation. Suddenly 400,000 youngsters were jamming a field in New York State in a gathering that flouted traditional standards. These two articles are a personal appraisal of the festival from the point of view of two who attended. Sana Rosh is a 44-year-old mother of two who thought, though a self-described square, went because her son was interested in the festival. That's a cool mom, right?
Sure. Let's go, Mom.
She holds a graduate degree in theater from Columbia University and is a director of educational theater programs. Naomi Rock, great name for a music reporter, is a 20-year-old reporter for the Associated Press who was sent to cover the festival. This is by Naomi Rock, White Lake, New York. The kids, long-haired, wildly dressed, packs on their backs, enthusiasm in their hearts, came to the Woodstock Music and Art Fair for 3 days of peace and music. They found the music and kept the peace. A few freaked out, disgustingly drugged, but more of the estimated 400,000 youngsters lived for 3 days in love, trust, and tranquility. I'm only 6 years out of college. I just missed being part of this hip generation of long-haired boys and shaggy girls. I came here expecting to report on, quote, trouble. I told my boss I thought the kids would, quote, take the town apart. The kids proved me wrong. They came to Max Yasgur's 600-acre farm, ill-prepared to live on muddy ground, to do without enough food and water, to put up with squalid sanitary facilities, to cope with a massive traffic jams created by their very numbers. They shared food, cigarettes, and blankets, wine, water, and marijuana. The essentials, Jim. The essentials.
Sure.
Their manners,
You don't need to be hungry if you're fucked up.
There you go. Their manners, their behavior, their kindness were infectious. Sunday night, a shaggy, dirty youth slogging along a muddy road asked a passing trooper if he could spare a cigarette. With a smile, the trooper reached into the glove compartment of his car and handed the boy 2 packs. The boy nodded and moved along. A profuse thank you would have just seemed out of place. They're just average, good, polite kids, one woman, a gas station attendant, told me. They didn't know what they were getting into. A kid with no money came by here. I wanted to feed him, but I didn't because I feared they'd all hear about it and I'd be swamped. Now I'm sorry. There were 3, interesting, positive viewpoint, right? There were 3 worlds at the Woodstock Festival. That of the countless thousands who came to hear the acid rock music and who jammed together hip to hip and back to back on blankets and on sleeping bags, who covered the sloping, soggy alfalfa field amphitheater with a sea of multicolored dots on a massive impressionist painting. The in-between world of the restless wanderers who traipsed back and forth across the dirt roads and swampy fields looking for friends old and new for something to keep them busy. And the world of the biblical people who sought and found a pastoral haven in a gently rolling pasture and adjacent woods. These were fluid worlds, constantly changing with the ebb and flow of humanity. In all 3 worlds, the use of drugs was profuse and flagrant.
Sounds good.
Hawkers called out that they had acid, LSD, or speed methadone for sale. I assume that's just speed. As nearly as I could learn, the buyers of hard drugs were relatively few, and many of these few freaked out. Some had to be hospitalized. One died. Thousands of youngsters smoked marijuana. I've never tried pot, but these kids weren't as bad as happy drunks. I heard no vulgar language. Some youngsters, mostly boys, stripped to wade in 2 ponds or to stroll in the all together. I was first shocked and embarrassed by them. That's a great way of putting it. Yeah, I like that.
I was going to say, I've never heard it quite described like that.
I wondered why the nudity. After 3 days, I found the courage to ask a naked young man strolling past the amphitheater. Why? That's where it's at, man, he replied. I'm free this way. I've lost my ego. I'm me. I'm you. I'm part of everyone and everything. I remain unconvinced about public nudity. Oh, yeah. That guy's...
You are on drugs.
It's probably best that this reporter waited 3 days to ask someone, because with each day, the answer is going to get more and more weird, I think.
Sure.
But looking back now, I recall seeing perhaps 50 naked youngsters and fewer drug freakouts in a crowd the size of the population of Omaha. That's kind of nuts. Again and again during the long, tiring weekend, I asked dozens of youngsters how so many people of any age could live together under such conditions without any trouble. Some kids pointed out that people are most often cooperative in time of need. Some said they had gone out of their way to behave because, quote, the world was watching. That's a scary thing to say. I'm going out of my way to be nice because the world's watching. Like, I'm steering clear of you if that's your vibe.
Sure.
Let's see. Finally, one boy declared fiercely, "We're just normal American kids. Just because we dress differently and act differently from what our parents would like, why do they always expect trouble?" And a man whose lawn had...
And that is so... What a full circle moment.
Yeah.
Because I bet you that motherfucker right now at whatever, 50, 60 years old is like, what's up with these fucking 20-year-old kids out here doing this, that, and the third. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
Sure, there's a lot of
anyway.
Facebook pages that will back up that. Anyway.
Well played, Rob.
Sure.
Well played. I'll tip my hat to you for that one.
And a man whose lawn had been turned into a campsite said, "You walk by them and they smile and say hello. They raise their hands in the sign of peace. They shout peace out of the windows of their cars. Maybe they know something that we don't. Maybe we should begin to listen." There you go. So yeah, it kind of got some... it's interesting to see just some feedback from the locals in it and have it be positive. Because we certainly heard it.
Sure.
It seems like it was kind of split between 50-50 between positive and negative experiences from those in and around the area. But yeah, a nice upstate take on the festival. I figured it was a nice way to close this out, Jim. Speaking of closing out, we we should wrap this episode up. What do you say?
I think we should. I think it's time for us to make like a bad check and bounce, as they say.
Well, for us to do that, the Speedy Freaks and Rattlesnake Pete's are going to have to bounce on over to rate, review, and subscribe to the show. Again, share an episode with a friend. It helps us out a lot. Throw us a 5-star rating. Write a positive review. Throw us a couple suggestions. A couple. Yeah, throw us more than one suggestion. Throw us a couple. 3 even. A few. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? And we just might cover it on a future episode. Jim, what do you got anything to recommend to our listeners here?
All right. So check this out, right? You're upstate, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're in Bethel. Let's not split hairs here. You're in Bethel, New York. You're with a couple friends, and you're like, you know what? I want to go hear some rad tunes. There's some up and comers. The Jimi Hendrix. You're into him, and you get up there and you get fucked up.
Sure.
You are flying. You have done all of the drugs. You are covered in mud, and nothing else could be better. Well, I'm here to tell you it can get better. You're at the apex of what you think enjoyment is, out there covered in drugs and love. I got something for you. Upstate Understandings. You think you're understanding Upstate? Go try some Upstate Understandings. It's a comedy album, courtesy of the jokes that I have written and the steady hand of production from Rob Adler. And goddamn it, it's a tour de force. Jimsearch.bandcamp.com is a place to go get it. There are some physical copies on CD. No more vinyl. A few tapes. Got some t-shirts. Wear them out in the mud. Make them official for you. And yeah, go do it. And also, of course, jimsearchcomedy.com. Go check out some dates. Might be doing some shows upstate at the end of the month. I don't know. I may pop up there. Who knows? But you should still check out jimsearchcomedy.com. Rob, that's all I got. They spent their money with me, but yet they still haven't spent all their money on drugs yet. Is there somewhere they can part ways with their cash? What can they do?
Let's just say your name's Ja Rule and you just learned that you may have been involved in a scheme that laundered and stole a lot of money from a lot of people. And you're a little distraught.
Right.
You got in over your head, didn't you weren't paying attention when you should have been, arguably. So you throw on New York Sticky, my album. You take a few breaths, you calm down, you realize that it's going to make a great documentary. It's not going to be Woodstock. That much we know. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a disaster, but you're going to make it through it, I think. Is Ja Rule doing fine? I assume he's doing fine.
Yeah, I just saw him in an ad for some liquor that he's got.
All right.
So he's
all right. He's okay. Okay. All right. So again, you grab that album, you're going to be fine. You throw it on. It's available at brooklynfrequency.bandcamp.com. Go check it out today. Speaking of checking things out, you can also check out our documentary. It's a behind-the-scenes look at the making of Jim's album. It's called Understanding Upstate. It's available at the link in the description. It's up on YouTube for free. Go check that out. Speaking of checking things out, we're going to be checking out another topic about upstate New York next week. And Jim, I think you have a hint for us about what that episode might be talking about.
Man, just make sure you don't feed those bears, man, next week. That's all I can tell you, dude. Don't fucking feed those bears, for sure.
There you go. Jim, we've come to the end of the episode where it's my chance to close us out with an up pun, and yet again, we do a lot of prep work for these episodes, and somehow I always forget.
100%.
I forget to prep.
But you always come through. You forget, but you always come through. So I'm not going to let you say that.
Well,
not going to let you say that, dude.
Well, I think I got one. Jim, I'm planning a music festival. I'm going to go rack up some debt. So let's get on out of here.
Yes.
We got it. We got it.
Understanding Upstate is a podcast hosted by Jim Search and Rob Adler, edited by Rob Adler, and music from Regal Monk.